Hey, my name's Misty, and I am a chronic pain sufferer. I read a book called The Way Out about 1 month ago. It's by Alan Gordon, and it is so insightful and so helpful. And so for the last month, I have been chronicling my journey as I go through pain reprocessing therapy using somatic tracking. And I have had ups and downs. I do think that I am gradually getting better. Last night I started to make a post and it was depressing. I ended it and I posted it and I'm probably about to take it down. This morning, last night, I did something different. So how'd I get to despair? I spent the month tracking and I think I got too focused. The last couple days, I have kind of had that low level, 2 out of 10 pain, kind of all day. Better, it disappears when I sit, but when I stand, walk, bend, I can do some somatic tracking when I'm standing still and I can get it to go away. But then the moment I bend, move, start doing something different, it would come back. And I just became hyper focused on fixing myself and getting better and thinking about it all the time and just feeling like, am I really getting better? Evidence that I'm getting better. I can sit in any kind of chair. I can sit on bleachers at a stadium. It doesn't bother me at all. I can sleep on any kind of bed and get comfortable, and that wasn't true before. So I see freedom in this approach, and I see improvement in my body. I went through a couple phases as I started this. One, I got a lot of headaches. After the first week, the headaches didn't come as much, and now I'm pretty headache free. This was right after I started somatic tracking. I started getting 4 or 5 headaches a day. Thankfully, the headaches are gone. Then I started getting some stress tension, is what I'm calling it. I don't know that he addresses it in the book, but whenever I started to feel stressed, I got really sore and tight in my back and my hips. I went to the dentist last week. They said I had a cavity. I was shocked and blown away. It's been like 15 years since I had a cavity, and I could barely walk to my car. I was so tense. And this has happened many times over the last month, but that visit was Thursday. I have really had very few and mild, if any, these stress tension episodes since Thursday. So that's a huge improvement. They were crippling and almost made me feel like, oh, I wish I could go back and unlearn what I've learned, but I know that's not possible. So I just need to trust the process and keep walking in this. So last night, I just felt like, oh man, it has been 1 month, and I was hoping for healing by this point, and I'm not there, and I'm kind of far from there. So sometimes it feels like, and sometimes I feel like I'm inching closer to the goal. So I have had, I've found Alan Gordon's Instagram, and that has been helpful the last couple weeks, reading different new strategies, some that aren't included in the book, and sometimes reading other comments that people have posted about how somatic tracking has been life-changing for them, and so very encouraging. Last night I read a post that directed me to his podcast, which I didn't know existed until last night. So again, listening to the podcast, hearing testimonials of people that have had success with PRT, pain reprocessing therapy. And one thing Ellen said last night that was really helpful was don't be preoccupied with your pain. When you lose the preoccupation with your pain, that's when the pain will go away. And you'll get to a point where you're like, oh, when did I lose the pain? You know, it just kind of gradually went away. And one day you wake up and say, I don't know how long it's been gone, but it's been gone. And I think for me, I've become preoccupied. I am trying to get better, whether that's somatic tracking or stretching, prayer, just really working, trying to do the work mentally, keeping my mind active on the pain. So that was helpful. I finished the podcast this morning and said, okay, today I have hope. I'm gonna trust the process, and I feel so much more hopeful today than I did yesterday. And woke up feeling pretty good. And another thing I'm doing today is just telling my body, hey, ignore that. When I start to feel a little something, I'm like, nope, you're okay. Ignore that. There's nothing wrong with your body. So this morning I started doing, I kind of race up the steps, but then I quit when I talked to a chiropractor that said, oh yeah, that's too intense for your body, blah, 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 blah. And so for 4 months, I have not jogged up and down my stairs like had been my habit because I was afraid that I was breaking myself. This morning I jogged about 6 times, and then it really got into my head and I started to feel it in my back. And so I stopped, I changed directions, had some breakfast or chatted with my kids, and after a few minutes I went back to it and I finished my 15 laps up and down the steps and felt pretty good. So then I decided to do a little workout. So I did some hip and leg stuff. I did some tummy crunches. No, I didn't do sit-ups. So I have scoliosis, and sometimes I can do sit-ups. I have a long spinal fusion. Today I knew I wasn't ready. I wasn't there. So I didn't push myself to do sit-ups, but I did some ab work and I did some arm work. In the past, I've had issues feeling like my back wasn't strong enough to support me as I did dumbbell curls with my biceps. Today I was able to, I did feel some stuff, and I was just really able to tell my body, hey, ignore that. There's nothing wrong with my back. I'm strong. I can lift these weights with my arms and with my back. So I think that optimism is a huge key, just trusting the process. And then my daughter's making faces in the window. Just try not to be preoccupied, which is so hard. Sometimes it's praying, right? Lord, help me to not be preoccupied with these thoughts of my back pain. And sometimes it's just trying to dive into something else. Can I spend some time praying for other loved ones? Can I go get involved in a project in my house? Can I do something and try to just distract myself? Because they say don't be preoccupied, but it's so hard. Easier said than done to not be preoccupied when your pain is constant and it's reminding you all the time that it's there. So just been telling myself, hey, that's not a big deal, ignore that. And just trying to be distracted. And it's a beautiful day, and I am feeling so much better than I was just 10-12 hours ago. And I do think that I'm doing so much better than I was a month ago. A month ago, I was taking Advil every 6 hours for a week, thinking the plan, the goal is just to take down my inflammation. If I just remove all my inflammation, I'll feel better. And I was feeling better that week, but it was really placebo. And I know that in part because a couple days ago when I was feeling like, it's just a cranky day. My body's kind of angry, and I'm just not not feeling great, and I'm just gonna do the Advil today. And the Advil didn't help a lick, not at all. So that's helpful. That's another like just point that I can look to and say, all right, it is neuroplastic. The Advil doesn't help. The stretches don't really help. They're good for my body. I stretch because I think that it's good for my body, but it's not going to help me with my pain. So reminding myself I'm doing these stretches to be good to my body, but not to get myself out of pain. They're not the answer. The stretches, the PT, the Advil, the massages, they're not the answer to get out of the pain. The way out is really through somatic tracking and reminding yourself that these sensations are not dangerous. And it's working. I'm a month in and I'm feeling better, and maybe I'll forget to post next month because I'll just have forgotten that I ever did this. Maybe in 3 months I'll post and say, I can't pinpoint the point in the last 3 months where my pain went away. That would be amazing. That's what I'm hoping for. But today I'm going to be kind to myself, and I'm going to trust the process, and I hope you will too.